There is a wall standing between you and the life you secretly imagine. It is not made of stone. It is not made of steel. It cannot be touched, photographed, or measured. Yet it has stopped more dreams, delayed more destinies, and silenced more potential than any prison ever built. It is the inner wall. You feel it when you want to move forward, but hesitate. You hear it when you say, maybe later. You recognize it when your heart feels ready, but your actions remain frozen. It is the invisible boundary between who you are now and who you were meant to become. Most people never realize this wall exists. They think life is simply hard. They think opportunity is limited. They think success belongs to others. But the truth is far more personal. The wall is not in the world, it is in the mind. And until you confront it, your future will keep stopping at the same invisible line. The inner wall is built slowly. It is constructed from experiences, disappointments, opinions, repeated words, and quiet emotional memories. Every time you tried and failed, every time someone doubted you, every time you were told to be realistic, every time you were discouraged from dreaming bigger, each moment placed a small brick. You did not feel it being built. You did not hear the construction. But over time, it formed a boundary. And one day, you stopped walking past it. You began living inside it. This is why you can feel ambition but not movement. This is why you can feel desire but not courage. This is why you can imagine a bigger life but remain in the same routine. You are not lazy. You are not incapable. You are not broken. You are simply standing in front of your inner wall. The mind loves familiarity. It seeks predictability. It prefers what it already understands. And when you approach the edge of that familiar world, your nervous system sends a signal. That signal is fear, not fear of danger, but fear of the unknown version of you. Fear does not appear because you are wrong. It appears because you are growing. And the inner wall is where fear and identity meet. It is where your past self tries to protect itself from your future self. You were trained to live within certain expectations, to aim within certain limits, to define yourself by certain standards. These expectations became emotional safety zones. The inner wall marks the edge of that zone. Beyond it is uncertainty. Beyond it is expansion. Beyond it is responsibility, visibility, and change. Your subconscious does not understand destiny. It understands safety, and safety feels like what you already know. So it builds a wall. It whispers logic. It disguises resistance as caution. It presents hesitation as wisdom. Be careful. Wait until you're ready. Don't risk it. What if you fail? People like us don't do that. These are not thoughts. They are commands. They instruct your nervous system to stop. They tell your identity to stay familiar. And if obeyed long enough, they define your entire life. The inner wall keeps your dreams theoretical. It keeps your growth postponed. It keeps your potential locked inside imagination. And worst of all, it convinces you that this is normal. You begin to believe that your current level is all there is. You begin to rationalize your limits. You begin to protect your routine, not because you are weak, but because your nervous system has mistaken comfort for safety. Here is the turning point. The wall is not real. It is a psychological boundary. It exists only because you were conditioned to believe it does. And what is conditioned can be reconditioned. The moment you begin challenging the assumptions behind the wall begins to weaken. Ask yourself, who taught me these limits? What proof do I have that I cannot go further? What version of me am I protecting by staying here? These questions strike the foundation. They loosen the bricks. Next comes decision, not a wish, not a plan, a declaration of identity. I am becoming more. I am growing beyond this level. I am no longer confined by old definitions. I am building my next version. These statements are not affirmations. They are instructions to your nervous system. They tell your subconscious that your identity is changing, but identity does not change through words alone. It changes through action. Small, consistent steps beyond the wall. Each action proves to your system that expansion is survivable. Each step tells your nervous system, this is safe. Each repetition widens your comfort zone. Slowly, the fear signal weakens. The wall loses its power. Your system updates. Your perception shifts. What once felt impossible begins to feel logical. What once felt dangerous begins to feel natural. You begin moving, not because the world changed, but because your identity did. This is how lives transform, not through sudden miracles, but through steady inner expansion. Every time you cross the wall, even slightly, your system rewrites itself. Your standards rise, your habits change, your choices sharpen, your conversations evolve, your energy strengthens, your confidence becomes grounded, and one day you realize something extraordinary. The wall that once felt permanent is now behind you. The limits that once defined you feel foreign. You are no longer trying to become someone else. You are becoming yourself, the version that was waiting beyond the wall. This is why so many people who finally grow say, I don't recognize my old life. They did not change their environment first. They changed their identity, and identity changes everything. The inner wall is not your enemy. It is your doorway. It exists to reveal where your next level begins. And once you understand that, fear becomes a guide instead of a guard. Fear no longer stops you. It points to your expansion. From this moment forward, do not retreat from discomfort. Walk toward it, not recklessly, not blindly, but intentionally. Each small step beyond your old limits rewrites your future. Each courageous action dismantles the invisible barrier. Each moment of persistence expands your world. You were not born to live inside emotional fences. You were not designed to repeat inherited limits. You were not meant to keep your dreams theoretical. You were meant to grow. You were meant to rise. You were meant to step beyond what once defined you. The inner wall is only powerful until you move, and the moment you take that step, your real life begins.